putting out on facility.
Yeah,
I saw that.
Just 'cause it's so
Emails. Otherwise, we'll get in at 12. I sent an email 2 hours ago. Was my work. Just sleeping well.
Oh my God. I'm screaming this morning. I feel like I'm already.
There's plenty of coffee.
Yeah.
We can have them ready. They're just all simple. He's going to South Kent this afternoon, and they're going to be on display just Saturday, Sunday. And then, yeah, they'll
The numbers change because the private, excuse me, the private dining room only holds about 12. It's not like some of our private dining rooms usually 30. But they told me originally there was going to be 4. Right.
No, it'll flow.
Sort of early.
No, it did. People came, I mean, you practically had to throw them on.
But so we'll know a little bit more.
It was good. But yeah, I'll have to ask Vicki where the dinner is. Might be in here, might be being catered by the restaurant. It is in here? Okay. Yeah, it's what they use in the front, like for cocktails. Okay. So when do you head back? Are you here for Monday?
Here for the weekend, I'll be here the dinner.
Oh, you're here for dinner?
Yeah.
Especially after they saw pictures, I sent pictures last night. It's all so
Oh,
pretty. Yeah.
yeah.
Because when we worked together, you'd be out there at sunrise, so.
Yeah.
But I don't blame you if you don't have to.
Oh, no.
It's okay. I hit the snooze a few times this morning myself. It's the best part of staying out. You just have to go downstairs.
The grill.
It's not like you're getting in the car.
In the summer, because it tends to be, a lot of people take Fridays
Yeah.
and Mondays off.
We have that.
Tubes were really quiet.
Yeah, Thursdays are the bad day for us because.
Oh, Ed, that's fantastic. Oh, they don't have the projector yet.
Morning, Kim. Hello.
Trying to arrange the interviews for sooner or later.
Okay. And I'll just follow this guy.
I uploaded onto this one this morning. Three, backwards. Didn't have time to put them on the website. So anybody who,
Do you come the last night?
Finished at 11.
Oh my god.
Good morning. Hi, Schultz.
okay,
Yeah.
bring it on.
Okay, cool.
To go.
We are?
Yeah.
To go. Okay.
the mic okay?
Yep.
So, can you please tell me how you first got involved in photographing this event? How did you get access to it? And why did you want to do it?
I was driving along in my 1955 Grand Chevrolet and heard the music on the radio. The first time it was played. And, you know, heard something that was like nothing I'd ever heard before. And the juice in it was so energizing that I said, I got to go to that concert. You know, so I contacted a magazine client that I did freelance work for and said, can you guys get me press passes to this? And they did. So I went, not so much on assignment, not at all on assignment, but quote, as we say, shooting for myself. And things were different then. They didn't put press behind a rope or on a lift somewhere. We had free range. And I was ambitious. So I looked around at what the traditional press was doing and what they weren't doing. And nobody got up on the stage during the press conference. So I said, there's an opportunity there. And that's where all of these were done, was on the stage during the press conference. And that kind of iconic photograph that's out now.
And you told me that your current work stems from working at this particular event.
Well, I've realized that. Yeah, I've realized that as I've excavated these photographs and dwelled on the experience and reflected on the experience, I realized that because I was a kid, I was a poor kid, I didn't have a flash like all the grown-ups had, and I was forced to take my cues from what the light was doing. And it took me a long time to realize that was the roots of my intimacy with light, which has matured over all this time.
So how come these pictures haven't seen the light of day, so to speak?
Because I got fascinated with my pursuit of, I had an experience when I was a kid, 5 years after this concert. It was a very spiritual awakening. And from that, I came away kind of knowing that there was something I could do with photography. I didn't know what it was, but I knew that if I didn't do it, it wouldn't get done. And that was always in the back of my mind. I was always looking for what that was going to be, right? And it was always about light, right? So that's an obsession. That's what I want to call it, an imperative of identity. There's something you come here to do. And if you don't get that done, this is a quote from Rumi, we come here to do something. And that's the main purpose of our life. And if we don't do it, it's like it hasn't been worth being here. And I finally realized that at a much more mature level, that for me that work was about kind of letting light speak for itself.
So why are you taking them out and, showing them to the world now? What is it about?
Because I reached a point where I needed financial rejuvenation.
Is that the only reason?
Yeah. And I always knew they were really cool photographs. And it's like my friend and partner Ed says, it's as if they weren't meant to be seen until now, because they needed the contemporary technology to really fully realize them. They couldn't have been done. They couldn't have been printed in 1964 the way they're printed now. They couldn't have been realized. That could never have been done then. Nor could I have seen it that way. Right? I mean, that picture benefits from my realization of what an incredible event that really was, and seeing the videotape of it many times, right? And hearing from people that that was the one of the Beatles' most involved concerts. They were really pumped by the reaction they were getting from the audience, and it was the biggest venue they'd ever played until that time. You know, it was like 8,000 people, big stuff back in 1964. You know.
Do you have any favorites among them?
Many. About 10. You know, and actually, when Kathy said she wanted something close to 50, I kind of thought, God, how am I going to do that? You know? How am I going to come up with 50? And surprisingly, we have 46. Surprisingly, I think everyone that's here has substance to it, you know, and that's partially because of the historical perspective from which they're now seen. But I love the one that they're joggling around back there, Ringo Starr beating on the drums, and the principal one that they're using, putting a face on the exhibit, that 4 guys from behind. And that's one, I didn't even see it until I got the negatives out of a box in a day. You know?
Can we just ask one question? Have any of the remaining Beatles seen these pictures, and have they commented on
Not
them?
to my knowledge. Somebody might have snuck in here last night.
Can you just ask that question there,
Okay.
just so we get the eye line on? Sorry, I know it's...
Have you shown this to any of the Beatles?
Not to my knowledge. You know, somebody may have snuck in here last night. And I did hear yesterday that somebody knows somebody who knows Ringo Starr's wife, and they were gonna make a phone call.
Expect them to bid?
No idea. I have no idea what this process is all about and what's coming from it. It's kind of getting on the train blindfolded and not knowing where the train is going. And when it comes to the stop, I'll see what station I'm at. You know? Yeah.
Is that all?
You could put it on the wall and just make it look as if you...
Thank you.
Well, no, I still want to do that one with Hulk, and it's she's here. As you're inside.
Is that all?
It's not me, it's young Kirsty. I'd like to bring...
Can I be a little more casual? I thought it was a little more casual. God. You really like the clip coat clothes.
I'm gonna need my iPhone because I gotta put this. This is hilarious.
Oh, Tony.
Hey, that's right. You guys scream at each other all the time, don't you?
We're on our best to go this.
May I?
Charge much for this? We'll put a check in the post.
I'm fascinated.
Yeah, check is in the post. Yeah.
Right, you finished with this one?
I don't want to knock it off the wall.
It's my party.
You guys gotta let me know. I'm gonna do this whether you like it or not.
Then you can laugh.
What?
What a hoot. And I'm gonna make that a panorama shot, I think. You guys are gonna be on my website.
But I just thought that if you just do a really tight head to the arm.
What do you mean do a really tight head?
Well, just, I'll show you.
There we go. Yeah.
No,
That's a Nikon. I shouldn't even be letting you shoot me with that.
we're all Nikon now.
Really?
Well, actually, yourself.
I used to do these pictures Nikon Fs. And it's interesting to me to see how Canon has just ascended.
Well,
by
Well,
the-
Nikon, yeah, the last 2-3 years,
it
Really?
bounces
Nikon
up
have
and
just
down
come back.
since the D3 came.
And I proved that.
Yeah, yeah.
Mike, just hold the pose and just come up.
I used to, in fact, in the footage of this concert,
We do that now.
you know,
I've got a hole in this pocket where I keep putting the lens in.
But you wouldn't want to drop the body on the ground, on concrete.
Oh, I've done that as well.
Have you?
Yeah.
They survived?
these are
The
really,
body did, the lens
these are
did.
really sturdy,
Yeah.
you know, tanks.
Yeah.
That's why they're so expensive.
Are we all done?
To go.
We're good to go.
Yeah.
And that was true for a while.
So you need to talk about the breakfast?
No, no,
No?
it's
We're all
fine.
good?
The breakfast?
Yes, yes, just to check the sound level.
Didn't have any.
So, can you please tell me what is so special about this collection you are auctioning soon?
We're selling 46 photographs in July in New York at Christie's, and it's an amazing story because Mike Mitchell basically took these shots when he was 18 years old, back in 1964, pretty much put them away in a box and never yet seen again. So this is really the first unveiling of these images, and the fact that not only have they not been seen in 46 years, but for Beatles fans in particular, who think they've seen it all, they know everything, there's no surprises, this is, I think, an extraordinary surprise for them.
See, how did you come across them?
Mike and I connected through friends of his, June and Ed Miller, who showed me the images, and they're just on a computer, and I immediately started screaming, I think. And I just thought, what an amazing opportunity. You know, Mike was not an established known photographer. He wasn't somebody who followed bands. I mean, this was not a known chapter at all. And to suddenly see these images in my office that had literally been squirreled away for 4 decades was just phenomenal. And I knew right away that this was just something that was so unusual. And we started talking about it, and we thought, we've got to bring these to auction. This is just such an amazing story, amazing opportunity. And, I mean, forgetting the fact that Mike was 18, really beautiful, intimate, very sort of exceptional images of the Beatles. And the fact that he was 18 just makes it even more remarkable.
Can you tell me a bit about some of the most highlights of this collection? Are there any photos that you think myself or more, and why would they?
Yeah, you know, it's hard to say because I think the whole collection itself is so strong, and we went through. Mike had several hundred images, so we actually really carefully curated this grouping. So I think I could argue that every image that we've selected is a fabulous image, but I think some are probably going to resonate a little more. There's the image that we've been using for all the marketing, which is the shot of the 4 of them from the back. I would say that's probably my most favorite image. I mean, not only the use of light, and some people are saying, you know, it's sort of angelic in its composition, but the fact that you don't see their faces yet, you instantly know who it is. It is the 4 Beatles. It's such an iconic image at this point. But, you know, I think for buyers, it's going to be about which is their favorite Beatle. You know, if you're a Ringo star, you're going to love the Ringo shots, or if you're a John fan. So I think to some degree, it's going to be a very personal kind of experience. There's a really amazing image, which to me sort of encapsulates the collection of Ringo's hands that Mike took that are really up close. Incredibly intimate, incredibly personal, and what that tells me is just the access that this 18-year-old kid had to the band was remarkable.
Sorry,
we
we're
need
just
to do
gonna.
that again?
Yeah, sorry.
From where?
Don't say from the beginning because I don't know what that is.
Just carry on
It's
from
fine.
another question.
Can you tell me how much do you think they will fetch, and how that compares to similar photos from a similar period?
Yeah, you know, the estimates are really conservative, to be really honest. I think the total is about $120,000 over 46 images, so very reasonable. The pricing of it was interesting because, as I said, Mike was not an established photographer, doesn't have an auction market, so we weren't looking at previous prices that he's realized. So we looked at other Beatles images, possibly by unknown photographers, and just have sort of a baseline sense of what do these images generally bring at auction. But we made them quite affordable because I think that the opportunity here is for everybody to own a little piece of this really wondrous collection. So the prices are reasonable. I think some things will sell within estimate. I think other things will probably soar well above.
Can you tell me a bit about the little tour this collection is taking and why you're showing them in both London and New York?
Yeah, we had a debate when the collection came to us about do we sell it in New York or do we sell it in London? I mean, it's the Beatles, it's very London, but it's their first U.S. appearance, so that made it a very sort of U.S.-centric idea. So we decided let's tour it to London first. This is the first preview of it. We've had a great reception so far, and then next month it'll go to New York. We'll do another press call there. We'll sort of show our cards to the people in the United States and sell it in the U.S., which I think was the right decision in that the storyline is very much about that first New York appearance. And even though the Beatles clearly belong to the world, the fact that it came off the back of the Ed Sullivan Show and was really the first U.S. appearance at the Washington Coliseum, it's such a U.S. story, so we felt that was the place to sell it.
I see. Well, do you know if any of the Beatles have seen the pictures or have an inkling that there are new pictures of them coming out?
They are all aware of it. I believe Yoko has seen, or one of her representatives has actually seen the entire portfolio. So she's well aware of the John images. But we have been in conversation with the other families and the Beatles themselves where appropriate. And I think probably by the time of the sale that they will all have seen them. I mean, clearly there's a lot of Beatles images out there, but the fact that these are really never seen, they are baby-faced. I mean, they are so young. I think Harrison's like 18 or 19 in this. So it's, I think for them it will be equally exciting to see these images.
Have they expressed an interest in bidding for them?
We'll see. Again, we just hung these for the first time yesterday, so we're talking to them. They're all aware of it. So whether they see them here in London or they come to New York and see them, I think I wouldn't be surprised if they want to obtain some of them.
What kind of people do you expect to come and bid for these, considering they're quite affordable?
Well, yeah, I mean, the pricing certainly widens the net, and I think for a lot of people, I mean, especially younger collectors, it's an opportunity to own a great piece of Beatles memorabilia. With that said, there's such an incredibly active Beatles fan base, so I think, people that collect Beatles actively will be very intrigued by these. I think photography collectors who may not be Beatles collectors per se, but just collectors of wonderful images will really be turned on by these because I think, again, Mike's use of composition and light and the intimacy of these images will draw people in who are really photography fans. So I think we're going to see a wide range of buyers on this material.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
And good luck with
Thank you.
Good luck with your stay.
Thank you.
It's always very nice to introduce American. Natural on the camera than some of your British characters.
We just, I don't know, we talk a lot.
And that's not a bad thing. Okay, are we done? You've taken B-roll of
I just
everything?
need to, I want to get some B-roll. There's a bit of life.
A bit of a life. Okay. Do you need my help with anything?
No, just chill out.
Chill out.
Yeah.
Is that your backpack?
Yeah.
Just go. Those in there. Pull off. So, let me move this light up. If it's in your way, just move it.
touch more to your left, if you don't mind, that's great. Sorry.
How's this?
Come close to me, please. I just want to get.
Ring go over the shoulder.
Okay, so we'll go with the photographs themselves. Why did you hold on to them for so long? I mean, have they just been gathering dust in your basement?
They have lived.
That was my best bit. Oh, because when she took it off. Oh, bless her.
Yeah. That's what happened when I did it anyway. What are we doing now?
No,
sorry. Oh,
with it,
just hold it there, yeah. Sorry, one sec.
Come back a little bit.
Oh, just rock. Or like a Romanian.
Come on, come on. Now you had a late night.
That's cool, yeah. Photographic girl.
Can we do it one more time?
Yeah.
People are paying money to train this. Cool.
And
Fast enough?
yeah.
That's it. Just keep. Just sorry, I'm just. Just a little bit longer. Thank
You know where the gardens are? Yeah, it is, but you won't see it because it's actually inside what looks like a.
Well, yesterday I was touching my back because, yesterday what we did was, because I knew I'd see it.
I'll look at your name right one day, Ben.
Sorry.
Yeah, exactly. Or Tom Jones. And then it's
Started by playing Chuck Berry song, which I have loved ever since I was like 13. That was 5 years. And yeah, off it went. Very high energy for a half an hour.
And then about these pictures, what happened that you never showed them
I was pursuing other the work of a guy who thought he was a magazine. Good night, guys. Good afternoon. Take care. 5 years later, that changed, and I became identified with being an art photographer.
Yeah, look at me, look at the camera. Is it ready?
Drawing jelly beans on the.
Jelly beans, they were, Is that what we know as jelly beans?
Opened up the laptop, started flipping through the images, and I have to say, I'm not sure if I screamed out loud, but I was really excited. It was just an amazing thing. Concert ever for the Beatles. So not only is it just a remarkable sort of opportunity, but then 2 days before, people hadn't really caught up with the phenomenon yet. So, Mike really just was able to walk in there and get to the front row, which is, there was no press pit, there were no ropes, there was no space at no point. So to have that kind of access, again, is incredible. And the intimacy of these images, and you can see it in some in particular, is just a remarkable thing. I mean, to see them so up close and personal, to see them so young,